Hello there, Mavs, and welcome to the update where we put the U in CMU-TV. And in case you were ever doubtful on if it was fall instead of summer, then that weather last week should have just spelled it. It's perfect sweater weather, and I love it.
But you also know what it means once it starts to get colder and get darker earlier.
That it's fall?
No, that winter's approaching fast, and you know it's starting to defrost.
Nope, no. Winter can wait patiently like all the other seasons. And Mrs. All I Want for Christmas better wait until December to start singing. Roll it. I recently went to the store to get some good old Halloween decor, and do you know what was right set up next to them? Christmas decorations. It's absolutely blasphemous that Christmas insists on coming out earlier and earlier. There is absolutely no need for people to get their Christmas decorations 3 months before the holiday. It's madness, but we aren't here to listen to my gripes with the holiday. Instead, Mavs, you are here to listen to some of the exciting events happening this week. So with that being said, sit down, shut up, and get ready for your mind not only to be blown, but updated. If you're the outdoorsy type and you can see yourself working in the outdoors, then sign on up for Wednesday for the Fish and Wildlife Club's job workshop. Partner with Career Services, the club invites you to come and learn about USA jobs and let you have the opportunity to jump on the gateway to employment with various federal agencies. If this is something that interests you, then stop by Woburn 366 from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m.
A spectacular astronomy phenomenon will be taking place on Saturday, an annular solar eclipse, aka the eclipse where there's a ring around the moon. So it produces a ring of fire. Will be visible. If you like to see the eclipse, then the Astronomy Club has you covered in the best way possible. Join them from 9 to 12 p.m. on Delta Field as they will be selling eclipse glasses for solar viewing, setting up telescopes, displaying a live feed from the telescopes, and a bunch of other science-y stuff. The club will be doing their own research with special equipment, and you can see their research play out on a laptop overall. It will be a really fun event, and the centers around a phenomenon that doesn't happen often. Once you get to bask in the beauty of the solar eclipse, put that wonder out into energy. You can use the walking. The walk to end Alzheimer's will be taking place on Saturday in the plaza from 9:30 to 12 p.m. This is the largest fundraiser of the year that the Western Slope Alzheimer's Association has put on, and it's focused to raise awareness for funds for both research and support purposes. It helps support local services such as support groups, education, and volunteer education. So stop on by to raise money for a good cause. Oh, and wait, did we skip a few days? We only talked about events happening on Wednesday and Saturday. That's like most of the week we didn't talk about.
You are absolutely correct. And yeah, so that's all that's happening this week.
But wait, hang on. You said last week that October is filled to the brim with events. Every week should be overflowing with stuff to do. What do you mean that's all that's happening this week? Did you lie to us?
No. I would never lie to you. I just forgot about a tiny little thing that also tends to happen in October that may or may not affect how many events take place this week.
You can just say that you ended up jinxing yourself.
Okay, I might have, but I genuinely did forget about fall break. Most of the time I have hybrid classes, so it doesn't affect me, but that's right, Mavs. We have a small break amidst all of the craziness that takes place in October, which means that we don't have that much to cover this week. But yay! Don't tune off just yet. Just because the week's events are all covered this week doesn't mean that this episode is over. Instead, Mavs, sit back down and pay attention to what on earth is going on. A little segment where we cover crazy, wacky stories that take place all over the world. People have an assortment of different emotional support animals. Of course, when you first hear of an emotional support animal, you may think of a cat or a dog, or maybe even a miniature pony. You don't tend to think of very many other animals that can be used for emotional support needs. But I don't think you would ever think that an alligator could be used as an emotional support animal. Wally, the emotional support alligator, got denied from entering a ballpark stadium for a Phillies game. As bizarre as that sentence is, it is not the entire story. You see, Wally is a bit of a celebrity. He's gone viral for splashing in fountains, posed for pictures with the mayor of New York, and visited seniors at a local retirement home. and it's typical for him to get hugs and kisses from fans whenever they see him in public. Because of his celebrity status, some of the Phillies wanted to meet him, so they invited him to the stadium. They were not there to watch the game, as amusing as that would have been to see an alligator sitting in the stands, but a friend decided to buy them tickets, and that's when Wally and his owner were denied entry. Their policy on animals only allows service animals, and the owner and Wally weren't that upset about it. Though, since they aren't really baseball fans, and the owner prefers the New York Revolution as a team anyway.
We narrowly missed a tragic event last week. You see, with the government being nearly shut down, now essential services would have to stop, and so Alaska's Fat Bear Week narrowly avoided being postponed. It is everyone's highlight of the year, seeing a bunch of rotund bears and rating them to see who's the chonkiest of them all. These round, large bears are sought out by Alaska Parks and Wildlife Services. Before they are named and put online for the public to vote on, the ultimate fat bear. This is no small event, mind you, as over 1 million people, about the population of Delaware, voted last year. And the event grows in popularity each year. Luckily, a last-minute bill passed to give the government more funding to run. So this tragedy was avoided. Imagine what we could have been robbed of. Imagine the horrors of not seeing these bears. Personally, I am rooting for 32 Chunk to get the crown this year.
There's been a furry creature that's become a famous outlaw in Santa Cruz. An otter has been evading wildlife officials and avoiding taking responsibility for her crimes. What are the crimes, you may ask? Well, apparently, this silly little otter steals surfboards. Yep, you heard that right. An otter has been stealing surfboards. Local agencies have decided to capture her and rehome her in either a zoo or a nature preserve, but their attempts haven't been all too successful. However, since an otter has been a slippery little fellow. But even though the wildlife officials haven't been too amused by her antics, the outlaw has become a bit of an international icon, with many supporting to leave her in the wild. No matter how this journey ends for her, there will be plenty of people rallying to support her. As one individual put it, she is the hero Santa Cruz deserves, but not the one it needs right now. She is a silent guardian, a watchful protector, a dark knight.
If you have a goal this year to have the biggest pumpkin on the block, then the year may be perfect for you. Farmers are saying that pumpkins will be bigger this year due to the wet summer. All of that rain and canceled afternoon summer plans will be worth it for these large pumpkins. It was perfect weather for farming them. So when you browse the store, you may see that all types and sizes of squashes may look to be on the unusually large side. It'll be perfect for pumpkin carving or making large pumpkin pies. Whatever you use your pumpkins for, I will be disappointed if you do not go above and beyond for them. Carve the most spectacular pumpkin this campus has ever seen. Create the biggest pie that Sodexo could only dream of doing. Don't miss this opportunity. Go wild!
And that is that for a little snippet of weird things going on in the world. And these ones were nearly all animal related, which is pretty funny.
I may have to be on the lookout for any rogue otters or large bears. You never know. Maybe the bears and the otter will team up and create a crime organization.
That would certainly be something. And hey, maybe the alligator could distract everyone from what's going on by rolling around a pumpkin or something.
It would be the perfect plan for them. Luckily, they're all on opposite sides of the country, so they shouldn't be getting any ideas. I'm your lovely co-host, Isaac Klein.
For everyone's sake, let's hope they never get those ideas. I don't think anyone wants to deal with an underground crime ring ran by completely different animals. And I'm your host, Breana Sinclair. Have a safe and fall break, Mavs. Until next week, keep it classy, Grand Junction.
And stay updated.